All right, we got a brand new quarterback power ranking at CBSSports.com. Top two remain the same. It's Ty Simpson 1, Fernando Mendoza 2. Diego Pavia is up into the top 10. He rises 7 spots to number 8. Gunner Stockton, a big riser as well, up 24 spots to number 10 after Georgia outscored Ole Miss and ended up winning another ranked matchup. We always get Danny Kannell's QB rankings as well on Wednesdays here on CBS Sports HQ. Danny, you do not have Gunner Stockton in your top 10. Why?
I do not. I would have him just outside. I mean, it's really hard to make my top 10. That's why it's hard to get in there. There's an elite bar there, Chris. You can't just throw anybody on there. He's been really good. I want to see him continue to do it. I think some of this goes to some of the guys that I have on a list are just the type of guys that are elite level play. And I do think Gunner Stockton, he played really well against Ole Miss. He's sort of a playmaker. Maybe it's not the prettiest out there, and he doesn't put up monster stats, but when he needs the big throws, he comes up and makes them. He's done a phenomenal job for Georgia. And I know there's been a lot of complaints about the play calling. When he's given opportunities to make plays, he's made them every single time. I think the thing that's been surprising for a lot of people is the amount of rushing that he's doing with the football. He's been able to make a lot of plays with his legs outside the pocket. So he's just outside mine. He's done a great job.
Okay, well, your top 10 is a little bit different because you look at the top 10 at CBSSports.com, and pretty much everybody is quarterbacking a team that is ranked.
Yes.
A team that many of them are unbeaten. You've got a guy here at number 9 that's on a team that's lost 5 straight games, but it's certainly not because of him.
There's 2 guys on here that have teams that play no defense. That is not on them. Sawyer Robertson at Baylor, I'm a big fan of, and Taylen Green has been awesome. Has anybody noticed how close they've been to upsetting some really good football teams in the college football landscape? They almost beat Tennessee. They almost beat Texas A&M. And the only reason they weren't able to beat those teams and pull off those massive upsets, it wasn't because of Taylen Green. It was because those defenses, the defense for Arkansas could not get a single stop. They were atrocious. They still are atrocious. Taylen Green is a monster. He's 6'6". He's big. He can run. He's got a really good arm. And with the way Bobby Petrino is using him has been really it fits his skill set close to perfection. He is a dangerous weapon that I don't think anybody wants to play against.
Just crazy. 357 yards per game when you combine the rushing and the passing yards. Just ahead of him, CJ Carr. They get a big win against USC, but could you argue that was his worst game of the season?
Easily. Conditions, of course, came into play. There was that torrential downpour. It was raining the whole game, but I still think he's playing. Him and Julian Sayin have really blown me away as quarterbacks who had come into the season relative unknown. Sure, they had high school careers and they were high recruits, but we've seen a lot of those guys fall flat on their face. And yet, CJ Carr has delivered, and he's come up big. And you look at these numbers; those are deceiving because it was awful. It was bad conditions. Look at how it affected Jaden Maeva and USC on the other side, and they were able to win. CJ Carr is going to be a big reason why Notre Dame, I think, is going to be in the playoffs, just like they did last year. I think they're going to win 10 games in a row. And CJ Carr is seeing the field. He's making good decisions. He's not making those crucial mistakes, even when you do have to, play in adverse conditions like they did last weekend. He doesn't kill you. And even in their 2 losses, which were his first start was against Miami, his second start was against Texas A&M, he played well enough to win. Just a couple, the defense couldn't get a stop here or there against A&M, the tip ball against Miami, or else he potentially pulls those off. He has been really, really impressive as the first-year starter at Notre Dame.
What would be great is if they were in, say, the ACC, and at the end of the year they would have to play, I don't know, say like a Georgia Tech and Haynes King. Look, Georgia Tech into the top 10 for the first time in over 10 years. And Haynes King into your top 10 as well.
Diego Pavia gets a lot of love because he's brash, he's outspoken. Haynes King is more of your poor man's version of Diego Pavia. He doesn't do a lot of trash talking, but watch him play, and it's very similar because he puts Georgia Tech's offense on his back, and it's not the prettiest of a thrower, right? He doesn't throw the best deep ball, but he gets it there. He gets it done, and when it needs to be done on the ground, he does it. And it's, again, not somebody who runs around a lot of blocks. Sometimes he has to run through tacklers as they come up to get him. He really does play with a ton of a heart and emotion, similar to Diego Pavia, and I think he's going to take this team into the college football playoff. They are sitting in a great position right now. They're over a 2-touchdown favorite this weekend. I know they have the game against Georgia to finish off the season, but I think they're going to get to the ACC championship game and 11-1, win or lose. I think Georgia Tech is in the playoff, and I think they are 11-1 at the end of the regular season.
All right, let's jump into Danny's top 5 quarterbacks in college football this week. And at number 5 is a guy who made a big jump in the Heisman odds this week, Diego Pavia, who has another big opportunity this week against Missouri.
And they're favored, Chris. I mean, he's playing on a really good football team. That's the thing that's kind of crazy, that I think people still have a hard time looking at Vanderbilt and saying, oh, this is a team that could make the college football playoff. They actually absolutely could. And last week, it's again similar to Haynes King. It's not the prettiest when he throws the football. He's more, watch Johnny Manziel. That is his mentor. His game looks like Johnny Manziel. Things break down. He gets outside the pocket, and you think maybe you've got him, and he squirts out of there, and he runs in a touchdown like he did this past week against LSU. But most importantly, and this is one of my favorite things about some of these quarterbacks, he's very clear the emotional leader for Vanderbilt. Like, the team goes as he goes, and he is willing to run over defenders, similar to Haynes King. He's willing to do whatever it takes, and that's why I don't think you have to worry about this, Vanderbilt team having a potential letdown spot after they beat LSU. Yet another top 25 opponent coming in. They're favored. I think Diego Pavia is the real deal.
And he really wants to beat Missouri, too, because Missouri is the only team that he's faced multiple times that he has not beaten in his career. Number 1, though, Danny, I believe it was the same one last week, and it may be for a couple of weeks now, and it's Ty Simpson at Alabama, the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman.
He continues to look so clutch under pressure. I mean, the gauntlet that Bama has just been through has been well documented, all these top 25 opponents, but they've been able to go through it unscathed, in large part because of Ty Simpson. The way he's operating in this system is just unbelievably clutch, and they're tight windows. He's throwing the ball with anticipation. He's got guys in his lap sometimes because the offensive line is good. It's not great. So he's got to throw with pressure on him, and he delivers beautifully thrown footballs. And, we thought Ryan Williams was going to be their star receiver. Now he's spreading the ball around to Jeremy Bernard out there on the outside. He's got a ton of different weapons that he's working with. He has been incredible. He's the favorite for the Heisman for a reason. The only reason I think you would see him slip is because it's hard to get this favorite spot and maintain it. Does he have a slip-up game? I don't think so. They had a couple of those last year. But I think Ty Simpson is the very clear-cut favorite, and he's the best quarterback in college football right now.
I'm going through the different mock drafts that we have up at CBSSports.com, 4 different ones. Couple of them have him in the top 20, but nobody has him in the top 10 at this point. What do you see for him at the next level?
I think he's playing himself into the first round. I think what the NFL scouts are going to look for is to see him continue to improve and operate the way he is. And then you always heard the term upside. I think that's the one thing that potentially could be holding Ty Simpson back from being a top 5 pick. Is he's not 6'5" like Fernando Mendoza. He doesn't have a cannon for an arm like you've seen last year. He doesn't have the incredible running potential that Cam Ward did last year. He doesn't run a 4.4 like Anthony Richardson did when he was coming out of Florida. But who cares? Some team is going to get a quarterback who can come in and make tight window throws. Like, so many guys can make throws versus air. Ty Simpson flashes because of the way he operates in this system, and I think it translates to the next level. I would not be surprised if he plays himself in the top 15. Some of this depends on what teams need, but he is playing like an elite-level NFL quarterback right now, and if he continues it, he'll find his way in the first round.
Danny Kannell's top 10 college football quarterbacks. What was the hot topic on Cover 3 today?
Little big game breakdown today, looking at some of the big games of the weekend.
You must be talking about Iowa, Minnesota on CBS.
Of course, yeah. We did that yesterday on our Big Ten special show.
I listened to it yesterday.
Yeah.
I listened to it. Winner's going to get to 4-1 in the Big Ten and still have an outside shot at, if they run the table, being a playoff contender, believe it or not. Cover 3 podcast. Scan that QR code. It'll take you right there.